I've been so fortunate to get to work with Rachel for 4 years in a bunch of different ways, as a teacher, as a dorm parent, soon to be as a travel companion on our trip to Greece. And one thing I've learned about Rachel is that she does way more than she's ever asked, and she always does it well, and she does it graciously. Whether that's volunteering to help students with tutoring and classes if they're struggling, making videos when we decide to burn gingerbread villages and fire pits, helping friends run the photography club after school. She's always there to help and always with a smile. And because of her work with video and other media and things like that, Rachel's often kind of in the background, sort of capturing the energy of the event and then sharing it with us. But when Rachel steps into the spotlight, we all really benefit, both from her kindness and her composure. Whether it's working as a counselor on McCormick, or educating us on the Chinese New Year, or even giving her counselor talk, Rachel is always finding a way to share her experience and expertise and help make VES a better place. So please welcome Rachel.
If anyone were to ask me how I'm feeling right now in one word, I will say terrified. In one sentence, it will be my legs are still shaking. I have always been very scared of being under the spotlight. Some people argue that the public speaking, or even just public presence, requires practice. And the more you do it, the better you'll get. But I blacked out before my piano performance in my kindergarten, even though I had rehearsed it 1,000 times. And I continued to have panic attacks every time I attended the annual music show at my school as I grew older. When I still get rising heartbeats today when talking to a large group of people, I very much understand that for some people, that's just the case. The seniors and faculty might remember my last time doing Farms Friday was in my freshman year with Janice. We also danced, and I also got really nervous. The biggest difference was because I started off dancing in 8th grade with a group of people. It's so much easier to perform with other people and to share the pressure. Looking back at it, although there are some regrets on the defects of the movement and the dumb answers I gave during Q&A, I felt pretty good about it. The positive feedback and the little eagerness of coming back to do better pushed me to dance for another time. But I have stepped back a lot of times. Sophomore year, the pandemic hit gave me the perfect reason to escape from the stage. Junior year, too much stuff going on. To me, the direct result of the fear is the contradictory mind of doing things. I could be totally up for doing something, spending all night browsing choreographies and imagining myself doing them in front of everyone. That gives me a limited enthusiasm that turns into stress on the other day. What if I screwed up? What if other people think I'm not cool or that was stupid? When facing a decision, it's always easier to sit back and not do it. There are no costs and no embarrassments. And here comes the growing part. When people overthink, especially teenagers, we tend to think about bad parts and how they will leave impacts on us. We think about the process being messed up, the results being unsatisfactory, etc., etc. But if you change your mentality, it's a whole new world. The growth really happened when I realized that while others' judgments, which mostly are just imaginary, might be discouraging, the only way to break the vulnerability is to feel it and embrace it. Holding on to your passion. It's the change from looking from others' perspective to hearing our own opinion. This is beginning to sound a little like a good old lesson, but let me break it down for you. Life can be as simple as a giant binary game. You can control it by either choosing to do something or choosing to not do something. Freshman year dancing was a choice. Not dancing was a choice. Today was also a choice. If I didn't decide to do this whole thing, my counselor talk will probably have been a boring one, modifying one of my college app essays and lecturing on stepping out of my comfort zone or something like that, or them being forgotten over less than a week. And there are many more instances of not making a decision in my life. It could be as small as a hesitation during the hardness discussion, deciding to hold back my ideas while losing the participation points, and it could also be a regret of not trying to do the worst poet contest or to play lacrosse throughout the 4 years here, despite how fun they sound. On the other hand, the moments of choosing to do something are always more fun. For example, I never tried Twix because to me, its package looks like chocolate filled with peanut butter or with almonds. Not trying to shame any type of chocolate here, but I hate those. It was not until the beginning of this school year when I made the decision of actually trying one that I realized it is one of those crunchy and good tasty chocolates. It quickly became one of my favorite snacks. It's also one of my favorite choices to decide to come to the States. it would have been fine staying in China with friends and cultures I'm familiar with. But going abroad definitely is more thrilling and amusing, with new connections, and especially at VES here, with new connections and unexpected things going on every day. I guess that's pretty self-explanatory. It's always fun to discover that essentially making the active choice is a process of concretizing memories. I once heard about a theory. When you are flipping a coin to decide on something, you are not looking for the answer from the head or the tail, but you are acknowledged with your choice when a coin is dropping. What this basically means is that imagine you want to ask someone to a dance. You want to flip a coin to decide if you're going to ask or not. The head is yes and the tail is no. When you get a tail, if you have any thoughts of retossing the coin, then not asking the person to the dance will be a regret. If you are to take away anything from this talk, just understand that the choices themselves are not that important, but the process is, as long as you take the initiative to make them your choice. At the very last, I didn't get to say this in the very beginning, but thank you, Dr. Knebel, for the kind words, and thanks for being a wonderful role model throughout my 4 years here. Thank you, Mr. Knebel, for still reading over my speech until this morning. Thanks to all of my ex-advisors, Mrs. Button, Ms. Whitmore, for the help they gave along the way. To my parents, if they will be watching this video sometime in the future, thank you for balancing the push to be a better version of myself without giving me too much pressure. Thanks to all of my friends who have been supporting me and give me love. And thanks everyone for making this 4 years great. And seniors, there are only 99 days until graduation. Let's take this time and make the most precious memory out of here. Thank you.